Good morning, mamas. Thanks for coming together to be here this morning to practice. So feel free to close the eyes and just begin to journey inward. In this house of your body, this vessel of your spirit, just relaxing into your humble abode, this true refuge inside. And just see this morning, just see if you can begin to notice the rhythm of your breath more fully. Just simply being more aware of this breath that's flowing in, this breath that's flowing out. There's so many sensations that are going along with this breath as it moves through you. So see if you can notice where you're connecting with the breath. If it's in the upper lip, the little hairs in the upper lip, or in the little hairs in the nostrils. Some people feel the breath in the back of the throat. Some of us feel the chest moving, expanding as the lungs move, the rib cage. And some of us feel the diaphragm moving in and out, up and down. So just allow yourself to notice where you're making contact with the breath, or if it's an overall gestalt, an overall experience of being breathed by the breath. And we'll spend a few moments just in pure awareness with breath. Sensing this breath as it moves through you. And after just a few moments, it's very common for the mind to wander away, off to other more interesting things, puzzles to be solved. And it's perfectly fine. You can just see that as an opportunity to strengthen the muscle of awareness as we gently guide the awareness back home to the breath. Once again, just as gently as we might guide a sweet old lady across the street, or to her chair, a dear old man back to his chair. And being that gentle and dear with ourselves as we bring awareness gently back home. This breath. And then gently finding the breath again. And see if you'd like to explore naming the breath, if it helps you or not. So just name the breath, rising when it comes in, falling when it comes out. And instead of directing the breath here, we're really watching the breath. So the words are kind of trailing on the breath rather than guiding or directing the breath. And seeing if the words can match the breath as precisely as possible. Again, following the breath with the words rather than leading or directing the breath with the words. It's challenging to watch something without directing it, to bear witness to it without becoming overly involved in it. One of our great tasks of parenting. So it's good practice for us as mothers. Witnessing the breath, being so present with it without directing it or controlling it. Good, and after the next exhalation, you can just return the breath back to normal. Hopefully it's been around normal this whole time too. And then we're going to begin to deepen the breath. Bring the right hand to the belly, left hand to the chest, beginning to deepen the breath now. Now we're going to direct the breath and guide the breath to deepen. So you can exhale fully, press the belly in, exiting the air out through the nostrils. And inhale, expand the belly, the rib cage, the collarbones rise. And exhale, collarbones lower, chest lowers, belly deflates. Inhale, belly, rib cage, collarbones rise. And continue at your own slow breathing pace, seeing if you might allow the exhalation to be twice as long as the in-breath. On the in-breath, you might engage Mula Bandha, root lock, and draw the muscles of the pelvic floor up 3 or 4 flights. And on the exhalation, slowly releasing those muscles down 3 or 4 flights, releasing the perineum. And see if you'd like to name rising on the in-breath, falling on the out-breath. It's cultivating presence in this moment with the breath, with this part of the body. That's it. And after the next long, slow exhalation, you can return the breath back to normal. And unite the hands on the heart or palms together in front of the heart. Gently bowing the head humbly down to the openness of heart. And just take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate that divine spark of life and light that rests deep, deep within you. And take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate that divine spark of life and light that rests within each of your children. See that light within them and bow to it. And take a moment to acknowledge and to celebrate that divine spark of life and light that rests within all beings everywhere, without exception. All living creatures. Good. Then you can gently release the hands down and bring the head to center. We're going to come onto our heels, if that's a possibility for you. And sitting on our heels. And we're going to slide the hands on the thighs so that our forefinger and thumb kind of make a nice little hug around our upper thigh right into our hip area. And this will fan our elbows out and back. You can squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other behind the back. We're going to rock the hips forward and lift the head, neck, and chest up. And just take a few deep breaths, opening to all of the good, fresh air around you. You can imagine we're not just breathing in oxygen-rich air, we're also breathing in prana and chi and vitality. Good. And from here you can slide the hands forward and then into the inner knee area, so the inside of the knee. This will cause an internal rotation of the shoulders. And we're going to bend the elbows out to the sides and away from the hips. And the hips are going to move back away from the elbows. So we're going to round the back, tuck the chin, and fan the elbows out even more, deepening that internal rotation of the shoulders. And you can even pull up on the fingers a little bit on the undersides of the knee to stretch the wings of the shoulder blades more deeply, stretching open the upper back. I'm going to slide the hands back, up the thighs, into the crux of the hip. Elbows squeezing towards each other, rock the hips forward. Inhale here, breathing in, fresh energy. And exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, hugging the inner knee, fanning the elbows out, rocking the hips back. So with the breath, inhale, arching up and back, rising. Yes, exhale, curling inward, falling. Inhale, arching up and back, rising. Exhale, curling inward, fanning the wings, falling. Good, and continue for a few more rounds at your own pace, modifying in any way that might serve you more. And the in-breath, drawing in the oxygen. On the out-breath, sending out the carbon dioxide waste for the trees and the plants to take in. Feeling ourselves connected with Mother Nature. Good. After the next full round, you can pause. And we can come onto the hands and knees. I'm going to send the right leg back and up to hip height. And we're going to lift the head, neck, and chest. You can press the hands down towards the knees isometrically, towards the left knee isometrically. This opens the abdomen more fully. I'm going to lift the right heel a little bit higher than hip level. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, pull the knee towards the forehead towards the knee as we press the hands down and away from the left knee. Good. With the breath, inhale, rising. Press the hands towards the left knee. Exhale, falling. Press the hands away from the left knee as the right knee comes towards the head, and continue at your own slow breathing pace. Rising and falling. Naming the rhythm of the breath as you breathe, honoring this subtle rhythm of nature. Becoming more attuned to our internal rhythms, ourselves a part of nature. Good. After the next full round, you can pause, lowering the right knee down. And extend the left leg back, lift the left heel up about hip height. Lift the head, neck, and chest and press the hands towards the right knee isometrically. Inhale here, lift the left heel a little higher than hip height. And exhale, pull the left knee towards the forehead, forehead towards the knee, and the hands press down and away from the right knee. Inhale, rising, lift the left leg, lift the chest. Exhale, falling, pull the left knee towards the forehead, press the hands away. And continue, rising and falling. Nice and slowly. Being more aware of the nature of the rhythm of your breath as you breathe it. Good. After the next full round, you can pause, take your time, and rest the buttocks towards the heels, forehead towards the earth, just pausing in extended child's pose for a few breaths. See if you can feel the low back expanding as you take a nice deep breath in. And feel the low back fall as you exhale. Good. Extend the arms forward. Shift the weight into the hands, coming up onto all fours. And then melt the hips forward towards upward dog, modified with the knees on the ground. Some of us will stay here. Others of us will lift the knees up. See what serves you more. Rotate the eye of the elbow forward and lift the chest open to the new day. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, press back either into child's pose or you can curl the toes under and lift the hips up high for downward facing dog in this flow sequence. Like an upside down V shape. And with the breath moving between these two positions, inhale, come forward and up towards upward dog, rising. Exhale, press back into child's pose or downward dog, falling. Inhale, coming forward and up, rising. And continue at your own slow breathing pace. Oxygenating the blood with deep, rich breaths. Drawing in fresh oxygen on the in-breath. Sending out the carbon dioxide waste for the plants and trees to take in with each out-breath. Really honoring our interdependence with nature, with the natural world around us. After the next exhalation, you can pause, resting either in downward dog or into child's pose, your choice. Good, and take a nice deep breath in, feel the low back expand. And exhale, feel the low back deflate. Lovely. And you can bring the arms alongside the legs and begin to lift the torso up, going all the way up to standing. Standing near the front of the mat. And just taking a moment to direct some of our energy from the thinking, planning mind down into the body, down into the belly, down the legs, and connect with dear Mother Earth. Such a resource for us during this pandemic, our time spent in nature. So really take a moment to plug into Mother Nature as a resource for yourself right now. And send some gratitude from your heart down your legs, down your feet, out into Mother Nature. And then you can draw the energy of the earth, the prana, as we say in yoga and other cultures, chi. You can draw the energy up into the feet and the legs. In yoga, we talk about drawing the prana through the prana vayus, the channels or rivers of energy. Up, up, up into the chest and heart, filling the chest and heart, shoulders back and down, chest and heart open, and unite the palms together in front of the heart. And extend the arms forward, up and back. Lean into the toes, hips come forward. And take a few moments as you open your arms as an extension of your heart. Take a few moments to really give thanks to some aspect of nature that's held you or supported you or served as a resource for you during this pandemic. Maybe your backyard space. Maybe just looking out your window to see the sky, the clouds. Maybe your garden patch. Or some of your plants inside. Maybe even just that walk around your neighborhood. Sensing the great outdoors. Take a nice deep breath into any aspect of nature that's held you, supported you through this time. Yes, and exhale, hinge forward, bow down to dear Mother Earth. Sending your gratitude out to Mother Nature for supporting you through this time. Such a vital resource that most of us became even more aware of when we didn't have access to her with the fires, right? So really bowing down with gratitude to this incredible resource, not only that benefits us physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Fingertips in line with the toes, step the left foot far back, lift the head, neck, and chest. Open your heart to some aspect of nature in particular that supports you. Even if it's the beauty of the flowers in your garden, that simple beauty that lifts the spirit, that awakens the senses, that helps us feel so connected to something beyond ourselves. Press down through the right foot, through the left knee. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Draw the perineum up and in. Draw the pelvic floor up. Lift the heart. Take a nice deep breath in, opening your heart to this aspect of nature. Yes, and then exhale, right foot back, downward dog or plank pose. Bowing down humbly to Mother Earth. And if you need to rest, you can always lower the knees down onto the floor. No problem at all. Always honoring the body above the ego whenever possible. Just bowing down with reverence. Bowing down to the different ways that Mother Earth, Mother Nature offers her support to your body and your psyche. Your body, your mind, and your spirit. And exhale fully here. Inhale, come forward and up. You can either move through Chaturanga into upward dog, through more of a push-up, or you can lower the knees down, swing the buttocks up, hug the elbows into the sides of the body, lower the chest and chin down for Ashtanga Pranam, and then inch forward into Cobra. Or from downward dog, you can just slither down, lowering the knees, and then just laying the belly down, the lower ribs down into Cobra. So lots of different ways to come down into the pose. And then once we're here, we'll squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. We'll press the toenails into the floor and lift the kneecaps up, engaging the quadricep muscles. And we'll press the hands down and back towards the heels isometrically, lifting the chest a little bit more, tucking the chin slightly. We'll inhale here And then exhale, slowly lower the forehead down, relax the legs, and the hands press down and forward now, away from the feet. And with a breath, inhale, lifting head, neck, and chest, press the hands down and back, lift the kneecaps, draw the kneecaps up. And exhale, slowly lowering down, forehead moving towards the floor, relax the legs, hands press forward and down. Inhale with rising. Exhale with falling. Inhale with rising. Exhale with falling. And continue at your own slow breathing pace, seeing if you can match the words to the rhythm of the breath as precisely as possible. Really tuning in to the nature of the rhythm of your breath today. Good. And after the next full round, you can pause. Press the hands down, press the belly button towards the spine, and lift the hips up high, downward facing dog. And then downward dog. This time you can move into alternate heel press, bending one knee, pressing the opposite heel down to stretch the calf, the Achilles tendon. And then switch. And continue to slowly alternate. Good. Just tending to your dear body, strengthening the arms, strengthening the shoulders, stretching the calves. And look between the hands and step the left foot forward between the hands, right knee raised or lowered. Lifting head, neck, and chest, and opening your heart to that aspect of nature that's been serving as a resource for you throughout this pandemic. And just give thanks. And then you can press down through the left foot and the right knee. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Engage the perineum. Draw the pelvic floor up and in 3 or 4 flights. Lift through the heart more fully. Take a nice deep breath in, opening to this aspect of nature that serves you. And exhale, step the back foot forward to meet the front foot. And then just bow down to this aspect of nature. Pouring gratitude from your heart towards the earth like a waterfall. Just even saying thank you a few times silently in your mind. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. And then you can bring the arms out to the sides and up, lifting the torso up, arching up and back. Arms spread a little bit wide, splaying the fingers wide, leaning into the toes slightly. Hips come forward, heart goes up and back. And just opening up to this aspect of nature that holds you, that nourishes you, that's been supporting you through this time. Take a deep, rich breath in. And exhale, unite the palms, close the eyes, and slowly slide the hands down the center line to the center of the heart. Good. And with reverence for Mother Nature as a resource for us. We can exhale fully. Inhale the arms out to the sides, up and back, saluting her, celebrating her beauty. And exhale, bow down to Mother Earth as a resource. Inhale, right foot back, lift head, neck, and chest. Open our hearts to that aspect of the earth that supports us. And exhale, left foot back, downward dog, plank, or all fours. Inhale, come forward and up towards upward dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lifting head, neck, and chest. And exhale, left foot forward, bow the head down to dear Mother Earth. Inhale the arms out to the sides and up and back. And exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale the arms forward, up and back, rising. Exhale, bow down, falling. Inhale, left foot back, rising. Exhale, right foot back, falling. Inhale, come forward, up and rising. Exhale, downward facing dog, falling. Inhale, left foot forward, rising. Exhale, right foot forward, falling. Inhale, arms forward, up and back with rising. And exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, arms forward, up and back with rising. Exhale, bow down with falling. Inhale, right foot back with rising. Exhale, left foot back with falling, tuning into the rhythm of nature. Inhale, coming forward and up with rising. Exhale, downward facing dog, falling. Inhale, right foot forward, rising. Exhale, left foot forward, falling. Inhale, arms up and back with rising. Exhale, palms to the heart. Pause here and just take a moment to integrate. And just notice what's there for you now. What's moving into awareness. Might be calm, might be centered. There might be some content there surfacing for your attention and inclusion in the moment. Just notice what's there, emerging within you right now. Good, and continuing, exhale fully. Inhale, arms forward, up and back with rising. And exhale, bow down, falling. Inhale, left foot back with rising. And we're going to pause here. And this is a little bit of a challenging movement, so feel free to lower your foot down as many times as you need to. We're going to be moving from lunge pose up into tree pose, Vrikshasana. So you can lift the left knee up off the floor, ground into the right foot, focus the eyes on one point for some steadiness, shift weight into the right foot, and you can lift the left foot up or drag it a few times on the floor and bring the left foot to the inner right ankle, just beneath the knee, or up into the inner right thigh. If you're feeling unsteady, you can come close to a wall and touch the wall for support, or have a chair out in front for now. Otherwise, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Press the right foot down. And then lengthen through the legs, through the spine, and lift the arms up. Maybe separating the hands, branching out, growing towards the light. Allowing yourself to move, especially if you're on carpet, it might feel more unsteady than being on a hardwood floor. So just letting yourself sway in the wind a little bit. Bringing a warm smile to the edges of your lips so we're not taking this too seriously, this task of balancing. We let ourselves move out of balance and we come back into balance and we move out of balance again. Take a nice deep breath in as we celebrate the trees. And exhale, slide the left foot back behind you. Hands come forward and down. Left foot far back into lunge pose. Bend the right knee, lift the head, neck, and chest. And just bow the head humbly down for a moment. Perhaps taking a moment to celebrate a tree that you've connected with in your lifetime, either as a child, or perhaps a set of trees along a hike that you take, or currently. Good, and then lift the head, neck, and chest. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, right foot back, downward dog or plank pose. Inhale, come forward and up. And cobra or upward dog with rising. Exhale, downward facing dog, falling. Inhale, left foot forward, rising. And pause here, lower the right knee down, falling as we land in lunge pose, breathing normally. And again, it's a little challenging to move from lunge pose up to tree pose, so feel free to drag your right foot as much as you need to make that transition. Lift the right knee, focus the eyes on one point, ground into the left foot. You can slide the right foot forward a little bit. And then transfer all the weight into the left foot. See if you can pull the right foot forward into the left ankle, beneath the knee, or into the inner thigh. Hands can be on the wall next to you or on a chair out in front of you if you'd like. And then you can bring the hands together in front of the heart. Instead of focusing on me, I'm an object in motion. You can just focus on something in front of you, on the floor or on the wall. And then from here, you can begin to lift the arms up, branching out, growing towards the light. Just honoring the trees, honoring our roots, honoring our ability to bear fruit and nourish others with our own internal growth. Take a nice, deep, rich breath in, sensing your movements in and out of balance. And exhale, you can slowly send the right leg back, hinge forward from the hips, hands to the floor next to the left foot, and lower the right foot down, bend the left knee, lunge pose. And bow the head down, tuning in. Mary Oliver writes, "Around me the trees stir in their leaves and call out, 'Stay a while.' The light flows from their branches. And they call again, 'It's simple,' they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light and to shine. Lifting the head, neck, and chest. Step the back foot forward to meet the front foot. Bow the head down and tune in. Just letting that message from the trees resonate. And reverberate throughout our systems. Extend the arms out to the sides or forward, lifting the torso up, lifting the body up, lifting the arms up, arching up and back. Opening our arms and our hearts to nature. Take a deep, rich breath in and exhale, palms to the heart. Pausing here, integrating. Good, and then you can release the arms. Softly open the eyes. And I'm going to turn to face you. And we're going to move into a modified eagle pose. Some of you, if balance is challenging, will feel more comfortable keeping both feet firmly on the floor like this. And others of you might move into the eagle legs. But if we move into the eagle legs and it doesn't feel right, just come back to this position. It's perfectly fine. There's a lot we'll be doing with our arms and our legs anyway. So if you'd like to explore the eagle legs, you can bend the knees, ground into the left foot. It's going to be opposite mine. Lift the right leg up and wrap it around the left thigh. So thigh crosses thigh. Foot can either be dangling in the air, big toe can be on the floor for a little extra support, or you can wrap the right foot around the left calf or ankle if that's available to you. Both knees are bent. We start with both knees bent and then we wrap. Okay? So you can unwrap the legs for a moment. And then we're going to play with just eagle in flight. So typically the eagle arms are bring the arms out to the sides, cross the arms left under right, bend the elbows, and then either backs of the hands towards each other, or you can swim the left fingers into the right palm. And then we lift the elbows up about shoulder height and move the hands away from the head. So that's our eagle arm position. But we're going to move into eagle in flight, where we unwrap the wings and we bring the arms out to the sides and up. We're going to bend both knees, lower the elbows down, and then the hands follow. And we're going to straighten the legs. We'll lift up from the elbows first and the hands follow. So bend the knees, elbows lower, hands follow. And we're going to start with rising. Lift the elbows, straighten the legs, lift the hands. Falling, lower the elbows, bend the knees, the hands follow. And then pause. So that's the movement of the arms, eagle in flight. If you choose to, you can just wrap the arms and stay with the traditional eagle pose. So focus the eyes on one point out in front, bend both knees. We're going to ground into the right foot, lift the left leg forward, left thigh wraps around the right thigh. Left foot can be up, it can be down on the floor, big toe touching, or you can wrap the left foot around the right calf. And you can either wrap the arms or eagle in flight. Inhale. Lift the elbows, lift the arms, straighten the legs just a little bit. And exhale, bend the elbows, lower the hands, bend the knees a little bit more. Inhale, rising. Exhale, falling. Focus the eyes on one point instead of on me. Inhale, rising. Exhale, falling. And a couple more rounds at your own pace if it's available to you. It's okay if it's not. Good. After the the next exhalation, you can gently unwind and shake everything out, including any internal pressure to get this right. Just shake that all out, releasing judgment. Good. You can bend both knees, ground into the left leg, lift the right thigh, wrap it around the left thigh. Foot can dangle, big toe can be on floor, or wrap foot around the left calf. Bring the arms out to the sides and up. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the knees, lower the elbows, hands follow. Inhale, rising, lift the elbows. Exhale, falling, lower the elbows and the hands follow. And continue a few rounds at your own pace. Honoring any birds you get to bear witness to where you are. Birds by your garden, birds you hear or see on your walks around the neighborhood or on your hikes. They are important too. We're all connected. Good. After the next exhalation, you can gently unwind and shake everything out. Yeah, including any judgment. Good. And you can lay down on the belly, the head towards the front, feet towards the back wall, and just pause for a moment's rest. And just really let your belly expand on the earth, just inviting all the abdominal muscles and organs to relax. And you can take a nice deep rich breath in, feel the low back expand and rise. And exhale, feel the low back fall. Good. And then you can bring the arms alongside the legs. You can lift the head, neck, and chest. Some of you can lift the arms, palms facing down, and even rotating the thumbs outward slightly. Others of you might rotate the palms towards each other and interlace the fingers, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other, lifting the chest. And you might also lift the legs up, spread the legs about mat width apart, and rotate the toes outward to strengthen the muscles that support the low back and spine. Good. With the rhythm of nature, with the rhythm of the breath, we can inhale, rising, lift a little higher. And exhale, falling, lowering all the way down. Inhale, rising, lifting a little higher. And exhale, falling, lowering everything down. A few more rounds at your own pace. Tuning into the rhythm of nature. Following your own breath as you breathe. Naming it. Rising. Falling. Good. After the next full round, you can pause. Place the hands face down on the floor beneath the shoulders. Press up onto all fours. And you can go ahead and rest into child's pose, either with arms extended out in front or arms alongside the legs. Or some of you might even like to have the knees apart and slide the hands between the legs, hands by the feet. See what feels really good for you today. As you rest in child's pose, I'll offer you this this poem, another poem by Mary Oliver. I don't want you just to sit down at the table. I don't want you just to eat and be content. I want you to walk out into the fields where the water is shining and the rice has risen. I want you to stand there, far from the white tablecloth. I want you to fill your hands with the mud like a blessing. I don't want you just to sit down at the table. I don't want you just to eat and be content. I want you to walk out into the fields where the water is shining and the rice has risen. I want you to stand there, far from the white tablecloth. I want you to fill your hands with the mud like a blessing. Take a nice, deep, rich breath in. And allow for a long, slow exhalation. And gently lift the torso up. And bring the legs out in front. And we can invite the legs out to the sides. I like to bend my knees in this position because I don't get that much forward rotation from my hips when my legs are out to the sides like this. So feel free to do the same if that serves you. Bend the knees a little bit. You can also place the hands onto the earth back behind you to keep the spine lifted, rotating the pubic bone forward slightly. You can inhale here, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, even arching back slightly from the upper back. And then exhale, hands walk forward towards the front if that's available to you. And just slowly, slowly hinging forward from the hips, lengthening through the low back to protect the low back. And just close the eyes, tune in, not worrying about anybody else's form, not having any preconceived ideas about how far forward you should be in this pose or you have been before. Just seeing where you fall into the pose today, where gravity takes you naturally. One of my mentors, Dejan, states, "Let go of the judgments that arise when Spirit says, 'This is how I unfold. This is how I unfold.'" Just bearing witness to the unfolding of the nature of your body in this position today. Good. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift the torso up. And exhale, bring the hands onto the earth back behind you once again. Bend the knees, rock the hips forward, arch the upper back, a little mini back bend. Deep breath in here. And exhale. You can bend the knees out to the sides, soles of the feet connect. Baddha Konasana. And here, you can wrap the hands around the feet, press the feet, the heels together, and press the knees apart. You can also bring the hands onto the earth back behind you, pressing the heels towards each other, rolling the pubic bone forward and pressing the knees out to the sides. Instead of pressing the knees down, we're just pressing heels in and knees out. And the knees will naturally go down just a little bit, maybe not a lot. But we're not focusing on pressing the knees down. We're just pressing heels in and knees out, rocking pubic bone forward. Good. Take a nice deep breath in. This is how I unfold. Yes, and exhale fully. Good. Slide the legs forward. Pardon. Bend the knees a little bit for the beginning of the pose. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Hands to the thighs, shoulders back and down. Slide the crux of the pointer finger and thumb into the inner hip there. That crease where the thigh meets the hip. Squeeze the elbows towards each other, arching up and back like we did at the beginning of class today. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, slide the hands forward, hinge forward from the hips and bow humbly down. Wherever you fall in the pose. Feel free to keep the knees a little bit bent like mine are so that we can focus on coming forward from the low back. And then if you like, you can begin to straighten the legs from there, pressing the backs of the knees down. But they don't need to become straight. You can keep them nicely, softly bent like mine are. And then just allow yourself to tune in and let your mind go free. Not needing to focus on anything in particular right now. Just let it be free for a few breaths. Good. Notice where the mind went. Just allowing for that self-knowing. This is where the mind went. Without judging it or overanalyzing it, just allowing ourselves to know. Just this moment of self-knowing. Auto-noetic consciousness. Good. Exhale fully. Inhale, lift the torso up. And exhale to center. And you can lift the arms up. And just take a few deep breaths, opening your arms and your heart up to nature as a resource. And calling on some support from nature. Just asking nature to continue to hold you through this time as a mother during a pandemic. Those of us with incredibly increased responsibilities with our children, and those of us who have older children who have the increased pain of being separate from them for so long. The longing to have a little more contact. So just asking for some support from Mother Nature to help us feel more connected during this time, held and supported, and reminded of the beauty in the world, even during this hardship. Take a nice deep breath into that. And exhale, lean back a little bit, spread your arms wide, and send each other some support, some wishes that each other will find ways to connect with nature in ways that nourishes us, that reminds us of the beauty of life, that reminds us that we really are all connected. Good. Receive that care and support from each other, those wishes, and slowly lower all the way down, strengthening the belly along the way. Good. Then you can hug the knees into the chest and rock. Or you can move into blissful baby pose, Ananda Balasana, by bending the knees towards the armpits and wrapping the hands around the outer edges of the feet. See what feels best for you. And then we're going to move into a reclining twist today. So for the reclining twist, you can scoot the hips to the right side of the mat, straighten the left leg along the floor, hug the right knee into the chest, and then cross the right knee over the body to the left. Right arm goes out to the right. And then you can melt the head towards the right. Just allow the body to relax deeply, particularly through the abdomen. So you relax the muscles in the belly, get a nice twist, like wringing out a wet washcloth to the internal organs, helping to squeeze out toxins and tension. And as you rest in this pose, I'll read you this beautiful poem called The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of the wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Take a nice, deep, rich breath in. Long, slow exhalation. And gently unwind the body. That's it, recentering the hips. And we're going to scoot the hips to the left, straighten the right leg, hug the left knee into the chest, cross the left knee over the body to the right. Invite the left arm out to the left, head towards the left. And then bring particular attention to the midsection, the mid-back, relaxing the muscles in the belly, releasing the muscles in the spine. And I'll share this poem with you again. Sometimes it's helpful to hear it twice. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of the wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free. Take a nice deep breath in and allow for long, slow exhalation. Good, and gently unwind. And then you can find your position for your final relaxation pose. You can either swing the legs up the wall or up a chair or up the side of a bed if you're near a bed or couch. You don't have to be all the way up against the wall. The buttocks can be several inches away from the wall like mine is, and the legs at more of an angle. It's still a great benefit. Or you can recline just on the back. See what serves you most today. It's nice to cover yourself with a blanket and warm clothing so your body can relax and not have to try to warm itself up. Muscles tend to be chronically tight, so we tense the muscles and then relax them to help teach the muscles that, by contrast, this is fully tense and this is completely relaxed. So take a nice deep breath in, scrunch up the face, make fists with the hands, point the toes, lift arms and legs just a little bit. Good. Inhale deeply, open the mouth, stick out the tongue, stretching the jaw, open the eyes, lay fingers, stretch toes. Inhale deeply. Good. Close the eyes, close the mouth, and allow the entire body to be deeply, deeply relaxed. And today, we're just going to invite the body to relax, to rest in the peace of the wild things, to soften the edges of our physical boundary, to merge into the space around us, where we become one with all things. Very gently invite the awareness back home to the breath. Take a deep, rich breath in and allow for a long, slow exhalation. Yes, and gently invite the awareness back home to the house of the spirit, to the humble abode of the body. Gently re-inhabiting the physical self more fully, remembering yourself. And then you can gently roll all the way over onto one side and just pause in a curled up fetal position for a moment's rest. Curling up sweetly with yourself. And press the hands into the earth, lifting the body up to seated. Coming to a comfortable seated position. Closing the eyes, checking the posture. And feel free to place the hands on the heart or together in front of the heart. And I'll leave you with these words by William Martin. Do not ask your children to strive for extraordinary lives. Such striving may seem admirable, but it's a way of foolishness. Help them instead to find the wonder and the marvel of an ordinary life. Show them the joy of tasting tomatoes, apples, and pears. Show them how to cry when pets and people die. Show them the infinite pleasure in the touch of a hand. And make the ordinary come alive for them, because the extraordinary will take care of itself. Do not ask your children to strive for extraordinary lives. Such striving may seem admirable, but it's a way of foolishness. Help them instead to find the wonder and the marvel of an ordinary life. Show them the joy of tasting tomatoes, apples, and pears. Show them how to cry when pets and people die. Show them the infinite pleasure in the touch of a hand, and make the ordinary come alive for them, because the extraordinary will take care of itself. In honor of tuning in to the beauty and awe of nature as a resource for our bodies and hearts and minds, for ourselves and for our children. We offer ourselves, our children, and all beings everywhere a deep, humble bow and namaste. Namaste. So I'll look forward to seeing you in about 5 minutes, around 10:21 or so. Feel free to get some tea, nice cozy blanket for our sharing circle.